as I said, I really enjoy the First Amendment auditors. Some of them are a little, mm, I don't know, intense. I guess is the way to put it. The guy, Bay Area Transparent or whatever it is, he starts out mild and he can wind up just whacking them over the head with logic, and I love that. And it's the kind of thing that at my age, I don't know that I could do this. I think when I first spoke to you, I'm still a radical, and I don't know that I could actually do this without getting my head caved in, to be honest. But I love these guys, and I've tried to invite a few of them to come on my show, and that's one reason why I wanted you here, so they'll see that I'm not a bad guy. Maybe they'll learn that I want to bring some auditors on here, maybe to do a segment every week, to be
Yeah.
honest, because I think they do important work, and I think it would help to encourage and I would say motivate others to do the same. It's a good idea, ain't it?
Yeah, I know. I think it's a good idea. And you know what? The audit community, just like there's a wide spectrum of views and approaches in terms of how, broadcasters do a radio show or a podcast or whatever, there's a wide spectrum of approaches that the audit community has. There are auditors who are incredibly intense and obnoxious and mean
Yeah.
and do things that I would like, oh my God, that person's like not being nice at all. Then there's, to the other extreme, there's this guy, Long Island Audit, Sean Paul Reyes, who is the most polite,
Yeah.
calm, matter of fact in his approach as anybody. And you know what? There's all sorts of different ways to do this. The fact of the matter is that our Constitution protects our speech, whether you are polite, whether you're obnoxious. We just, I was just covering a trial with Sean Paul Reyes, Long Island Audit. He was charged in Danbury on 2 citations, one for creating a public disturbance and the other for trespassing because of interactions he had at City Hall. And the judge found him not guilty on the creating public disturbance, even though Sean Paul Reyes had repeatedly told the police officer, "You are a tyrant. It's because of tyrants like you." And it was condescending. It was, obnoxious. It was in the police officer's face. And, the judge said, look, that's protected speech. Calling somebody a tyrant is not, creating is not grossly offensive. It's not. Now, if Sean Paul Reyes had said, "I'm going to beat the crap out of you right now," that's a little bit different. That's sort of threatening. But, we've seen police officers just go crazy because an auditor calls them a tyrant. And now we have an actual case where, no, you can call a police officer a tyrant. You can tell him to go F himself. You can wave the bird at him. All kinds of stuff you're allowed to do. And so as a result, when you see an auditor, and I, think of like James Freeman, who I think is the expert at, "You are dismissed, son, and you will not open your mouth when you're talking to me." Then he does all sorts of crazy insults, and he uses a very loud voice, and he sometimes tries to talk to police the way the police talk to other people when the police are mad, and it's very sort of effective. I don't think I've got that personality to be able to do that kind of adversarial, so intense, argumentative, in your face with a police officer. That's not in me. But God bless the people who have that inside of them, who are exercising those rights as well. And what I would just say for people who are just learning about the First Amendment audit community, regardless of whether the approach by an auditor is polite, whether it's obnoxious, whether it's confrontational, whether it's trying to somehow catch police, it's kind of like it's almost kind of like the health inspector, right? I mean, you go to a restaurant and you expect the food to be clean. If a health inspector comes in and finds cockroaches, it's not that health inspector's fault, it's the restaurant's fault. It's the same thing that auditors are doing. If an auditor goes and films police or goes into a post office or a public library or city hall and people are polite, that's great. But if people fly off the handle and go crazy and have this person arrested, that's the fault of the public servant who is violating the Constitution.
I mean, I've got a list of those that I like a lot. Direct D and his Mesa, Arizona crew. I mean, they're out there. They're challenging these cops boldly. I got to admit. And one that I like his relaxed thing, Billy Buttcrack. I don't know if you. His is rather funny, but it's also challenging these cops to think again about what it is they're doing and saying. And I really like his style.